Demi Lovato and her ex-boyfriend Wilmer Valderrama have sparked reconciliation rumors as they were both spotted out for a lunch date recently. The pair were spotted dining in Los Angeles, but according to Lovato herself, they're simply just great friends. Demi and Wilmer dated for 6 years before splitting up in 2016, and the former couple has remained close since their breakup. In fact, she recently opened up about how important Wilmer still is in her life. They started dating just a few months after meeting, and she insists that it was love at first sight. In fact, she also insists that she's never fallen out of love with the actor, even since their breakup. She's noted a number of times that her heart is always with him, explaining that you can't share 6 years with someone and not give them a piece of your heart, and vice versa, of course. She's also noted that she's trying to keep an open mind about future relationships, but knows deep down that she'll never meet anybody that compares to him. Bella Hadid hit the catwalk at Milan Fashion Week to support her big sis Gigi's 4th and final collaboration with Tommy Hilfiger, and after the show, the It Girl took to Instagram to share a sweet tribute to her sibling. Bella uploaded a short clip of herself popping a bottle of champagne in Gigi's honour, noting in the caption that she is beyond proud of the hard-working, kind, talented, smart, funny woman her sister is, adding that the model-turned-designer's perfect face is the least of her attributes. The Tommy x Gigi show marked the closing night of this year's fashion festivities in Milan and featured a Formula One racing theme. The elder Hadid walked the runway in her own creations to open and close the event, while in between Bella was joined by pals like Winnie Harlow, Joan Smalls and Hailey Baldwin. Everyone knows Ed Sheeran as the musician, but a new documentary called Songwriter shows him as the hard-working lyricist that he is. Filmed by his own cousin, Murray Cummings, the documentary gives fans a behind-the-scenes look at Ed on tour, writing his music, something that Ed hadn't ever seen before this film.
I haven't seen the finished version because obviously I want to see it with my family being premiered, but I saw it probably when it was 98% done. There was probably just a few little tweaks. I really like it. I like that Murray found a niche that hasn't really been done before. It's quite difficult to find something that hasn't been done in a music movie. You usually see albums getting recorded, there's always a making of the album, but the songs are already written by that point, so it's more seeing people just play instruments. I've never seen a song written from start to finish in a movie, which I for some reason when I saw it I was like, wow, why hasn't anyone done this before? So I'm like, kudos to Murray for thinking of that.
Tackling a subject that's never been shown on screen and having Ed Sheeran as the focal point is a recipe for a very successful film. Although it's very open and made by his family, that doesn't mean Ed bears all in this documentary.
I mean, there were loads of things that were off limits, but Murray filmed everything. So like, it just was down to then when the film was done, I watched it and made a list of things for Murray to take out, and then that was that. And it's not so much, just, I mean, obviously having my family's privacy is one thing, but I think, just like anyone, you have opinions on things that are very opinionated, and I'm quite a kind of beige person, so I don't want strong opinions out there, basically.
While Ed wants to keep most of his opinions to himself, he does have some thoughts on writer's block that he's more than happy to share.
What I've learned about writer's block is it doesn't actually exist. You should just not push it. If you're trying to write a song and you can't, you shouldn't just try and write it, because then the block will happen and then in your head you'll think, oh, I've got writer's block now. So what I do when I can't write a song is I just put a guitar down and go and do something else for about a couple of weeks and then come back, and then I'll be able to write a song.
Following that process has led Ed to become the hitmaker he is today. With his success comes of course a lot of money, and while that's obviously a nice thing, it's far from the driving force behind his creativity.
I think the one thing I've always wanted to maintain in life is that my family and friends are all good, and also I never wake up in the morning and go, I want to do that and can't do it. And I think that's all that it really means to me. I think people get too obsessed and driven by it, but I think, I've had it and not had it, and both. I had fun, I lived a pretty normal life either way, so I wouldn't mind if it all went, but it's quite nice that it's here at the moment.
Being able to live happily with or without a big bank account goes a long way, and while Ed is rich when it comes to money, he's also rich with advice, and he's just as generous with that.
Someone said something to me the other day when I was in the studio, and he said, dare to suck, which I thought was a really, really good thing where you're not afraid to fail. I think that's a really good thing for a musician to have.
And you can see Ed daring to suck in the brand new documentary Songwriter, which recently had its big premiere at the 2018 Berlinale. So look out for its wider release soon.